going, everybody? Anthony with Dude Ranting. If you like what I have to say or I offend you, I'm doing my job. Now, I love combat sports. Anybody who knows me already knows this. I tend to lean more towards MMA, Muay Thai, kickboxing. I love traditional boxing too. But I don't understand why people bicker so much about what's better, boxing or MMA. Who wins this fight against an MMA fighter and this boxer? If you've done either of these, or done both of them, you can pretty much attest to the fact that they are two different sports that have punching in common. That's why I don't get why there's so much bickering about it. That being said, let's look at what I think are the four biggest, best crossover fights that we've had. Number one has to be Floyd Mayweather against Conor McGregor in boxing. Now, personally, I didn't give a crap about this fight. And it went exactly how I said it would. I said outside of landing some lucky punch, which is highly unlikely against Floyd Mayweather, Conor's going to get schooled. It's going to end in the 9th or 10th round by TKO. That's what happened. Conor got schooled, really didn't have any business being in there with Floyd. Big cash grab for both of them, props on that, but the fight itself, kind of pointless to me. I say the second most famous is James Toney fighting Randy Couture, MMA. I don't know what UFC event that was. And Randy Couture tapped him out in the first round. Now, people who like to bicker about this, I see this response a lot. The boxing fans go, well, James Toney's fighting 20 pounds over his natural weight and he's 40 years old. I don't want to hear that. Throw that excuse out the window because Randy Couture is also fighting 20 pounds over his natural weight. He's older than James Toney. Now, if you want to say James Toney didn't take it seriously, he was looking for a cash grab, I'll give you that one. Last two, I think, fall a little under the radar, and they both involve Ray Mercer. Third most famous one, in my opinion, Ray Mercer starching Tim Sylvia. That fight was supposed to be boxing. Something happened with the commission last minute, and they switched it to MMA. He KO'd him. They're both past their prime. Props to Ray Mercer on that one. The other one, the fourth biggest one that I think negates any of the positives you can take from the Tim Sylvia fight, is Ray Mercer versus Kimbo Slice. Kimbo Slice tapped Ray Mercer out in the first round. Yes, you heard that correctly. Kimbo Slice guillotined Ray Mercer. And even on the feet, Kimbo just pushed him up against the cage and basically bullied him around. Something he shouldn't have been able to do, but he did. So those are the four biggest, and they don't really prove anything. It's typically guys past their prime or guys who have no business being in there with each other. Like I said, they're two different sports that have punching in common. One thing I will say, I think a boxer would have an easier transition into MMA than an MMA fighter would into boxing. Now, I say that just because MMA has so many different disciplines, and you got people who are not strikers. Khabib going into boxing is going to get destroyed. He's a wrestler. He has nothing to do with that. So I think a top-level MMA striker could go into boxing, maybe get to the top 10. They're going to get their ass whipped by the upper echelon people. I feel the same thing about the other way. Top-level boxer goes into MMA, probably gets to the top 10, gets his ass whipped by the upper-level people. More often than not, that's how I think it would go down, and it probably would go down that way. Now, the reason I think there's a lot of bickering is fighters keep saying dumb things to stir the pot. Like Chuck Liddell recently saying he could beat Mike Tyson in a street fight. Now, I doubt it. Your chin's gone, but Mike's old guy fights. You never know how it's going to go. In your prime, maybe. I think if they fought 10 times in their prime, they probably go 5-5. Now, I will say the 5 that Tyson wins are going to be over very quickly and very violently. If Chuck wins his 5, there's probably going to be something like throwing a kick, getting Tyson a little off balance, thinking about that, shooting in, taking him down. But again, it's pointless. It's just people talking for no good reason. They're two different sports. They're different skill sets. Can we just enjoy them for what they are? Can we stop fighting about which one's better? They're both awesome. Leave it at that. I'm Anthony, Dude Ranting.